difference between a five-figure and a six-figure earner. And we're going to have this discussion. It's based off of findings from Ramit Sethi, who is and I may be pronouncing his name wrong, but he is the guy who teaches about how to have a rich life. I absolutely love his teachings. And I really want to talk about this because there are a lot of similarities between five-figure earners and six-figure earners in consulting as well. So let's talk about it. And if you're on YouTube, you can see YouTube and Facebook, you see I have the side by side screen going. So let's talk about what's the difference between five-figure and six-figure earners. Whether you are a job seeker or working in consulting, there are major differences between those who make $60,000 a year and those who make $125,000 or more a year. So I'm just using those as random numbers to throw out. But I want you to think about 60,000 a year earners, and then think about those who earn over 100,000, a little bit more than 125 a year. And I want you to think about what are the differences, and let's have this discussion about this. And if you got any questions, put them in the chat, as well as give me a hey, what's up, what's going on if you're catching this in the replay, and give me a hey if you are live with me now. As you can see, we are sharing screen on YouTube and on Facebook, and you should be able to see that I am sharing information from another source. But when I say this is spot on, this is spot on. Five-figure earners are more likely to use job boards. They are going to locate job boards to look for jobs. They're also 60% more likely to express dissatisfaction in their job, as well as five-figure earners. And in this instance, we're just using 60,000 a year as a roundabout number. They apply on average to 10 or more different positions before landing a job. So think about, even as a school teacher, did you go to job boards? Were you dissatisfied with where you were? And then in order to get the job, how many applications did you fill out? But then when we talk about six-figure earners, and this really connected with me because I've been a six-figure earner for probably the past 10 to 15 years. No, near 20 years. And so six-figure earners are more likely to use referrals, recruiters, and informational interviewing to find a job. Think about that. So even in consulting, there are those who will start their consulting business and they want to go straight to the RFP website. They want to go straight to submitting proposals. They don't go to think about who are the people who I can contact, who can I use in my network, how can I get somebody to refer me out. They are looking for a task that they need to do, which is fill out applications, go on LinkedIn, go on monster.com, go on this job board, go on this RFP site. Those are typical behaviors of five-figure earners. But a six-figure earner instantly thinks about referrals, recruitment, as well as informational interviewing, which is basically networking. And so six-figure earners also research salary ranges and the company culture. Even me, when I'm going into a school system, I need to know, oh, hey, Abundant Fruit. Hey, Claudisha. Hey. So I need to know what that school system is like, what type of culture they have. Is this something that I can go somewhere that I can go into, get in, get out, not have a lot of stuff going on? What type of culture is it? Other five-figure earners, they don't care. They're just trying to make money. They're just trying to get a job. Five-figure consultants, those who make $60,000, $70,000 a year, they're just looking for the next contract. And then six-figure earners also spend time fine-tuning their interviewing skills. For consultants, we are constantly working on our pitch. We are constantly thinking, how can I position my services so that they know exactly what it is that we offer, and it's totally clear how they can work with me and how I can pitch my services to them. We're always fine-tuning that. Before any meeting that we have, we know exactly how that meeting is going to go. We know exactly what we need to say. We know the body language that we need to display. We know the level of confidence that we need to bring in, which is totally different than what a five-figure earner does. A five-figure earner goes in and they're trying to see what the decision maker is going to do. Six-figure earners, we go in, we've already fine-tuned. We already know this is how this conversation is going to go. And then the last thing that the article says, in the article, you can see the article if you're on Facebook or YouTube, They six-figure earners are two times more likely to negotiate the pay, the contract, your salary, and they're also four times more likely to set up bidding wars. Notice that the word is to set up. One of the strategies that I use when I give my price on a contract, and they are typically high five-figure or six-figure contracts for work that I'm going to be doing, and the other person, the decision maker, wants to get into negotiating. They say I would love to work with you, but that's a little bit outside of my budget. You got to have strategies. You got to be able to negotiate. One of the things that I do, I say, I want to work with you. Let me talk to my project manager on this and see if I can't get you a discount. See what we can do to make this within your budget. Tell me exactly what your budget is. Well, when I come back, I'm going to come back a little bit over his budget. I'm going to come back a little bit over the budget. So you got to be willing, and a regular five-figure earner would just take that information, lower their price, and go on about their business. I'm telling you, there is a difference in mindset of five and six-figure earners, which is why we constantly say you can't just decide I want to make six figures. You have to become the person who can make six figures and become a six-figure earner. So the next portion of the article talks about people who make from $50,000 to 999,000. I'm sorry, 99,000. A lot of the people in that group express uncertainty and lack of direction. That is super true. That's super true. Even when we're talking about consultants, they're making money and they have some business, but they are super unclear about their future. They don't know where their next contract is coming in from. They don't have a long-term game plan because they are still trying to work like an employee. And so these are typical behaviors that we see in five-figure earners. They stay open to opportunities, and they're always being genuine doing interviews when it's considered important. They advise against revealing salary expectations up front and focus on fit with the company. Now, when we think about that. We don't want to reveal the salary expectations. My salary needs to be talked about up front. So with six-figure earners, and you can see the article on the screen, they make connections and build a strong network, which is crucial to this group. I keep trying to express to educators, you got to network. You got to be in a network. You got to have some partnerships. You got to have some people who will speak your name in rooms that you would never be in. And you're not going to be able to do that sitting at home and staying in your house. Six-figure earners make connections. They build relationships. They build a network. And I strongly advise that's what you do. You cannot just accidentally bump into six figures. You need to have a plan to be a six-figure earner. And then it also says that the six-figure earner understands the company needs as well as the industry shifts. That's how you keep your client coming back for more. That's how you keep them. You let them know that here's what I do. This is the problem that I solve. This is the way that this industry is going. And so you need to be prepared for this next thing. You need to have your next package set up to address the next thing. Let me give you the example. Right now, we're in an AI explosion, artificial intelligence. We're in an artificial intelligence explosion. A lot is happening in the school system, and a lot is not happening in the school system. Teachers have not been trained on how to use AI in the classroom, how to allow AI to support their productivity. Teachers have not been trained on how to teach students how to use AI. And so when you pitch your training on AI, you also have to be well versed in where will AI be in 2030. We're right now in 2024, and it's moving so rapidly. So many programs are coming and showing up each and every day. Where will we be in 2030? And why do we have to wait to 2030 to begin preparing? But the only way you'll know where we're going to be in 2030 is if you're going to these conferences, if you're engaging in this learning, and if you're around the people in that industry. So that's just an example for you. And then the next thing is that they six-figure earners ask thoughtful questions during the interview. Now they're talking about interviewing for a job, but even as consultants, you should be bringing up thoughtful ideas. You should be bringing up thoughtful situations. You should, when you leave, they should know she knows what she's talking about. And then the last thing is that six-figure earners recognize the value of showcasing relevant experience and valuable skills. See, the five-figure earner is going in to answer the questions that the decision maker has. They're not going in to pitch and to win this contract. Six-figure earners, we're going in and we know that our experience and our results are valuable and will bring that contract in. And so you need to be prepared to talk about the work that you've done in a quick, concise way that doesn't leave people think that you're bragging, but that you're highlighting the level of work that you do. You need to showcase that relevant experience. I tell people I've worked in almost every state within the United States. I've worked in private, public, charter, university level, collegiate. I've worked in all gamuts, community-based organizations. I have a vast amount of experience. So I let them know it doesn't matter. I've worked in low needs, high needs. I've worked in the affluent school systems. I've worked in charter school, private schools, religious schools. And so you let them know I have the experience that you need to be able to address any problem that you have that's pertaining to my area of expertise. It's not bragging, it's letting them feel assured and be assured that you are the one who can handle this job. So, in what I'm saying to you is, as teachers and educators who are five-figure earners, in order to become a six-figure earner, it really is a different mind. It's a whole mindset shift, and you can totally do it. But if you've only ever earned five figures, how do you know what you need to do to shift into a six-figure earner? And a lot of people think, well, I'll just wait till I'm making six figures to figure it out. No, you got to be that person before, because a five-figure earner cannot attract a six-figure contract to them, because we're not chasing anything. We're going to attract it to us. And so you have to put out high level, high energy support. You got to let people know that this is the level of work that you do. And it's very, very difficult for five-figure earners to close six-figure contracts because of these things that we just discussed. And so I want to make sure that we talk about these things, and that you have these things at the top of mind. I'm more than happy to answer a question for you if you have any questions. But I do want to make sure that we know that there are differences in five and six-figure earners. There's a difference in how we think. There's a difference in the places that we choose to eat at. There's a difference in the way that we choose to vacation. And it's not just because of the money, it's because of the expectation. Five-figure earners expect something different than what six-figure earners expect. Five-figure earners also think that the more that I put into this contract, the more valuable it's going to make it. And that's just not true. You should know your value. You shouldn't be filling that contract with a whole bunch of days and a whole bunch of hours. It's the value, the transformation that you're going to provide. So I just wanted to come in this evening and talk about this article, because it was really, really interesting. And it was absolutely amazing, the number of similarities between the five-figure earner who works on a job and the five-figure earner who is a consultant. There are a lot of women and men who have consulting businesses that are making $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year, which is not bad money. Don't get me wrong, that's not bad money. But the thing is, you could easily shift to $125,000, $145,000 a year by making some simple shifts in your mindset, the way you move and how you present things, and the amount of value that you add. And it's not by adding more stuff to the package. So I wanted to make sure that we talk about this briefly, so that you begin to think about it, so that as you move forward in your consulting business, you know that you need to operate as a six-figure earner and not a five-figure earner. And you will see the differences in the types of contracts that you close. You don't have to just close $10,000, $18,000, $22,000 contracts. You can absolutely close $150,000, $140,000 one contract, not five contracts that total that amount, but one contract that will total that amount. But one of the big things is, a five-figure earner wouldn't even go after one of those big contracts, because they will believe that they can't do that level of work. That's too much work, when they don't realize it's not about the amount of work. But people who are normal six-figure earners, they are more likely to go after six-figure contracts and not afraid to go after seven-figure contracts. It's nothing to bid on a multi-million dollar contract. But for some people, that's extremely scary. And that's because you are a five-figure earner and you haven't made the mindset shifts in order to go after the bigger contracts, which will actually allow you to work less and earn more.